Well, hello and how are you? Hey friends, welcome to the Shen Show. I am your host, Senator Briscoe, coming to you live right here in St. Rose, Missouri. That's right, today is Tuesday, August the 27th, 2024. Got a happy birthday shout out going out to Jill Swagler Chambers, Steve Ohlms, Jennifer Burkart-Demko. And so, without further ado, here's birthday shout out for the three of you. Hey, Jill. Hey, Steve. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. Why, that's another year gone away. I hope you're enjoying your special day because, well, it's your happy birthday today. Today. It's your happy birthday today. I said, hey, Jennifer. Hey, Steve. Hey, Jill. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. Why, that's another trip around the sun that you made. I hope you're enjoying your special day because, well, it's your happy birthday today. Today. It's your happy birthday today. Happy birthday to the three of you and many more. All right. Alrighty then. Many blessed birthdays in your future. Okie dokie. How about them Shin Show fans? Yeah, we got them. How about Dueker, Diann Gray, Savann Murphy Beason, Doug Bell, a.k.a. Steve Clary, Martin Kelly, a.k.a. Smiley, Rico Murphy, and Jarvis Johnson, and my Pokey pal, Linda Campbell. Special return poke for you now. Alrighty then. We're going to jump on over to a weather forecast. Actually, we're going to do something with this volume because, well, it's a squealing. And I was having issues with yesterday. I think that's right. That's about right. And if it jumps too high, well, it won't squeal then. If it jumps too low, it won't squeal then. All right. Yesterday, I was worried about whether or not the radio worked or the quad didn't get the sound or whether the speakers worked. Nope, didn't happen. Couldn't hear any of the background music for the karaoke. So found that out myself. Went to the drawing board and checked the top of the charts, but didn't get any responses. Sounds like it's going to start squealing again. I don't get it. I set the thing at 10, my volume level over here. Set at 10 so that whenever you turn up your speakers, it'll be plenty loud for you. But anyway, here we go. Today is weather forecast brought to you by Helping Hands Thrift Store and Foster Care Closet and Diner. Helping Hands Thrift Store and Foster Care Closet and Diner are located at 416 South 5th Street, St. Charles, Missouri. All week long, they've got specials on breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Plus, they've got specials on purchases in those stores. That's right. She's got 2 levels of store, 3 levels of store, I believe. And the restaurant's on the level. Okay, maybe it's 2 levels of store and 1 level of restaurant. Either way, it's always a good time when you go over to see Tim and Bev over at Helping Hands Thrift Store, Foster Care Closet, and VIP Diner, located at 416 South 5th Street, St. Charles, Missouri. All right, another 101 day today, 101 degrees out there. It's still that right now. Got partly cloudy skies tonight, though. Stray shower or thunderstorm possible. Low temperatures near 75 degrees Fahrenheit with winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for tomorrow, Wednesday, August the 28th, partly partial cloudiness early, and then with some scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. High temperatures around 94 degrees Fahrenheit with winds west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chances of rain 40%. Partly cloudy skies overnight. Low temperatures with a stray shower or thunderstorm kicking in later. At night, low temperatures of 72 degrees Fahrenheit with winds light and variable east at 5 miles per hour. And then for Thursday, August the 29th, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High temperatures around 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. A few clouds from time to time overnight. Low temperatures of 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be light and variable out of the south at about 5 miles per hour. And then Friday, August the 30th, mostly sunny skies during the morning, followed by thunderstorms in the afternoon. Gusty winds and small hail are possible. High temperatures around 91 degrees Fahrenheit with winds west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chances of rain 70%. Thunderstorms during the evening, then giving way to periods of rain overnight. Low temperatures of 69 degrees Fahrenheit with winds light and variable north to northwest at 6 miles per hour. And then for Saturday, August the 1st, we're going to have a shower or a thunderstorm possible early with partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. High temperatures are going to roll up on around 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chances of rain are going to be around 30%. Well, we got partly cloudy skies overnight with some low temperatures around 65 degrees Fahrenheit and winds light and variable north at about 4 miles per hour. Then for our final day of our 5-day forecast, going to be Sunday, September the 1st. Partly cloudy skies during on Saturday, September the 1st, with slight chances of rain showers. High temperatures of 86 degrees Fahrenheit with winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies overnight with low temperatures around 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be out of the north to northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And so there you have it, your 5-day forecast for the St. Charles viewing area. There you go. That's your 5-day forecast for the St. Charles viewing area. That was Sunday was the last one. Well, we're going to bring that one to you by Refreshing Word Fellowship Church. Yes, Refreshing Word Fellowship Church was or is located at 520 North Benton Avenue, St. Charles, Missouri, 63301. So don't forget to tune in. Come on by 10:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. for your get your non-denominational Christian church thing going on. All right, right at the corner of Clark and North Benton Avenue here in St. Charles. All right, alrighty then. Ba-ba-ba-ba-boom, ba-boom, 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 ba-doo, boom. Ba-doo, 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 do-do-do. Howdy, friend. How you doing? Glad to have you tuning in with us. I know I'm getting a squeal on my end. I don't know how it's coming out on your end. I know that whatchamacallit didn't work out yesterday, karaoke. So what are we going to do today? I don't know. We're not doing karaoke. We'll do them. We'll do some songs, but we're not going to do them karaoke style, okay? We'll just do them a cappella. A cappella fella. That's my name for today. The a cappella fella. Oh, let's see. What are we going to do? How about oh, I've got a song request chest out there. We're gonna try it. Wasn't really a request. It was something that my dad's friend or my friend uh, Tom Jackson thought that might help my dad through part of his uh, rehab process. It was called Ghost Chickens in the Sky. Not to be confused with Ghost Riders in the Sky, but here we go. We're going to give it a pull up and see how it shows up. Song lyrics, Ghost Chickens in the Sky. While the farmer went out on his one dark and dusty day, and as by the coop he rested as he went along his way, when all at once a rotten egg hit him in the eye. It was a sight he dreaded, ghost chickens in the sky. Ghost chickens in the sky. This farmer had a chicken since he was 24. Working for the colonel, producing, pronounce the colonel for 30 years or more. Rising on, raising those chickens to send him off to fry. And now they want revenge. Ghost chickens in the sky. Ghost chickens in the sky. While their beaks were black and shiny, and their eyes were blazing red. They had no more feathers, so these chickens, they were dead. They raised that farmer up, and he died by their claws. They cooked him extra crispy, and they served him with coleslaw. Yippee-yi-yi, yippee-yi-yo, ghost chickens in the sky. So let this song remind you, if you want eternal peace, don't raise up some harmless poultry, for to cook them up in grease. Remember, don't raise animals that you will someday kill, for a chicken may come hunting you, but tofu never will. Yippee-yi-yo, yippee-yi-yay, ghost chickens in the sky. Ghost chickens in the sky. Okay, Tom Jackson. There you go. How about the regular one? We'll do the regular one. Song lyrics, Ghost Riders, and this guy. An old cowboy went riding out one dark and dusty day. Up on a ridge he rested as he went along his way. When all at once a mighty herd of bright-eyed cows he saw plowing through the ragged sky, and up a cloudy crawl. Their brands were still on fire, and their hooves were made of steel. Their horns were black and shiny, and their hot breath he could feel. A bolt of fear went through him as they thundered through the sky. For he saw the riders coming, and heard their mournful cry. Yippee-i-oh, yippee-i, ghost riders in the sky. Their faces gaunt, their eyes were blurred, their shirts all soaked with sweat. He's riding hard to catch that herd, but he ain't caught 'em yet. 'Cause they've got to ride forever on this range up in the sky, on horses snorting fire. As they ride on, he heard their cry. Now as the riders float by him, he heard one call his name. If you want to save your soul from a riding on this range, then cowboy, change your ways today, or with us you will ride, trying to catch the devil's herd across seas in the skies. Yippee-i-oh, yippee-i, ghost riders in the sky. Yippee-i-oh, yippee-i, ghost riders in the sky. Ghost riders in the sky. All right, let's see. What else we got going on? We got some more going on here. Here on the show. Some more going on. Don't you know? Well, I like that storyline. Oh, yeah, let's do the pump. Song lyrics, Desert Pete. Song lyrics, Desert Pete. Well, I was traveling west of Buckskin on my way to a cattle run, across a little cactus desert under a hot, blistering sun. Well, I was thirsty down to my toenails and stopped me to rest upon a stump. But I tell you, I just couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that water pump. Well, I took it to be a mirage at first, a pool of thirsty man. But then I saw a note stuck in a baking powder can. Well, this pump is old, the note began, but she works, so give her a try. I put a new sucking washer in her. You might find the leather dry. Now, you've got to prime the pump. You must have faith and belief. You must give of yourself before you're worthy to receive. Drink all the water you can hold. Wash your face, cool your feet. Leave the bottle full for others. Thank you kindly, Desert Pete. Yeah, well, you'll have to prime it, the pump first. And work that handle like there's a fire. Under that rock, you'll find some water I left in old Bitter's jar. Now there's just enough to prime it with, so don't you go drinking first. You just gotta pour it in and pump like mad, and buddy, you'll quench your thirst. You've got to prime the pump. You must have faith and believe. You must give of yourself before you're worthy to receive. Drink all the water you can hold. Wash your face, cool your feet. I leave the bottle full for others. I think you kindly desert feet. Well, I found that jar, and I tell you, nothing ever looked prettier to my eye. I was tempted strong to drink it, 'cause well, that pump looked mighty dry. But the note went on, have faith, my friend, there's water down below. You've got to give until you get, and I'm one that ought to know. So I poured it in that jar and I started pumping, and I heard a beautiful sound of water bubbling and splashing up out of that hole in the ground. Well, I took off my shoes and I drunk my fill of that cool, refreshing treat. And I thank the Lord, and I thank that pump, and I thank old Desert Pete. You've got to prime the pump. You must have faith and believe. You must give of yourself before you're worthy to receive. Drink all the water you can hold. Wash your face, cool your feet. I leave the bottle full for others. Thank you kindly, Desert Pete. I drink all the water you can hold. Wash your face, cool your feet. I leave the bottle full for others. Thank you kindly, Desert Pete. There. How was that? Alrighty. Well, I'll tell you. I do this show each and every day, and I guess I do it for my own enjoyment more than anybody else's. I do have my fans and friends, but I don't get a whole lot of likes on the show. I get more so off Facebook that are still, diligently following, and I appreciate that. I certainly do. It gives me something to do. I'd like to be able to do something that I could make some money with, but I'll stick with this until that comes along. Reading books, maybe, or just going out and reading to the public, to the little kids and the children. That would be a fine time for me. But let's see what we got here for the story time with TV Grandpa. Well, wise men say only food for us in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Don't you ever know where you're going to go forever and ever to be so wise men do all what they're trying to do. All right, I think I figured it out. We're going to do Rumpelstiltskin today. The story of Rumpelstiltskin. Oh, what a wicked little man you are, Rumpelstiltskin. He, ha, ha, ha. Rumpelstiltskin is ha, ha. So, here we go. Hey kiddos, hey, it's time for TV Grandpa. So Story time with TV Grandpa, that is. So jump up on the couch or jump up on the bed. Swear it's time to rest your little head because TV Grandpa is going to lull you off to sleep with another little brain teasing sleep story time. The Miller and his daughter, Rumpelstiltskin, Part 1. Once upon a time, there was a miller who lived with his daughter. He was the sort of fellow who would do whatever it took to get others to pay attention and admire him. What was best was getting a response of who or ah from a crowd, but what he actually said wasn't so important. Now, one day, the king happened to be riding through the miller's village on his way to a hunting trip, and at the time, the miller was holding a crowd spellbound by telling them the secrets of good health and fortune. And the king saw the crowd and bellowed out, "What goes on here?" And everyone turned. "It is the king." "What? The king?" Everyone bowed down low. Part 2, the king. Well, the miller thought, "This is my big chance. If I can impress the king by saying something clever, everyone will always look up to me." "Your Majesty," the miller stepped forward and bowed. "I was simply telling the folks my secrets to wealth and fortune." "Well, what do you know about wealth and fortune?" scoffed the king, noticing his worn work clothes. Every time the miller moved, clouds of flour puffed off up from around him. "Well, even a poor miller such as myself," said the miller, can continuing to bow, "can stumble upon secrets to wealth and gold." The king was not convinced. Changing one's humble circumstances is, well, like spinning straw into gold, the miller continued, warming up to his topic. "And I should know, Your Majesty, as my own daughter can do that very thing. Spin straw into gold. Why, there is no doubt that she is the most clever and talented young maiden in all the kingdom." "So you say your daughter can spin straw into gold," said the king, challenging, uh, in a challenging his tone. "Why, this young woman must come to my palace tonight." Uh, uh, Your Majesty, what I meant was in a manner of speaking," the miller added quickly. "Silence," said the king, who was no longer listening. "Bring your daughter over tonight, and I command it." And the miller wished that he could take it back. Now it was too late. Bringing the daughter over to the castle, Part 3. While when the miller shared with his daughter what he had told the king about her, she was distraught, as you can imagine. "Father, why did you say such a thing to the king?" she wailed. And still she had no choice but to go to the king's palace as commanded. Well, as the palace door opened, the miller's daughter was immediately whisked inside and led to a small room. Inside the room, a spinning wheel, an empty basket, and a bale of straw. The king entered, and he pointed to the straw and boomed out, "By morning, I expect this bale of straw will be spun into a ball of gold thread in the basket. Now, if you do not do this, off with your head. I don't appreciate being made a fool of by a miller. The king turned and around, and he slammed the door, locking it with a padlock. When he stationed two guards outside the door, the girl was all alone. What has my father done? She moaned. How could he put me in this situation? No one can accomplish this impossible task. Just then, an odd little man stood before her. Did I hear you say no one? Said he. Wait, said the girl, shocked. How did you get in here? Never mind that, said the imp. What matters is that I can save your life if you make it worth mine. Wow. Worth my while, that is. You're telling me that you can actually spin straw into gold, said the girl in disbelief. And he nodded. And she wondered if she should trust this stranger who appeared out of thin air and claimed to do the impossible. But then again, what choice did she have? Very well, she said. What is your price? Well, the imp pointed at Hope. You had to give what you have to give. Actually, part two. So the imp pointed to her neck. How about that necklace? He said. Well, the maiden was puzzled. And if the little man could really spin the straw into gold, he could buy any necklace he wanted. Why would he do all this work and only get a necklace? Still, he seemed to be her only chance to save her life, and so she wasn't about to ask too many questions. She said, by morning, if you can spin this bale of straw into gold thread, then the necklace is yours. Well, the little man got to work. Whirl, whirl, whirl went the spinning wheel, and the girl fell asleep, sitting all night, sitting against a wall. But by morning, a bale of straw was gone. Piled inside the basket were balls of gleaming gold thread. You did it, she said, amazed. Well, a deal is a deal. And she handed over her necklace. In a poof, he was gone. When the king stepped into the room, he saw the basket filled with to the brim with balls wound with true, sparkling gold thread. He knew the room had been locked and two guards had been stationed outside the door all night, so that it must be true that she could actually spin straw into gold. Now, if you please, sir, said the girl with a curtsy, may I go home? Not on your life, bellowed the king. I will have my servants bring a dozen bales of straw to fill the room larger than this one, and you will stay there tonight. Beware, by morning of all the straw must be spun into gold, or, if you care about your life, off with your head. But I already, said the girl. I am the king, he roared, and the king slammed the door behind him. I was lucky last night, the girl despaired. What are the chances I'll be lucky again. Well, pretty good, I'd say, said a voice. The girl turned around, and the little old man was there again. How did you get in here? She asked. Focus, said the imp. I can do the job for you, but what do I get for it? Hmm, how about that ring? So she agreed. All night the imp spun the straw. In the morning there were no more bales of straw on the floor, and the dozens of baskets were filled full of glistening golden balls of thread. The girl gave him the ring as promised. Well, if two rooms of gold look good to a king, you can imagine that three rooms full of gold would look even better. The king took the girl to his royal banquet ball, a room so large you could barely see from one end to the other. He had filled the banquet room from floor to ceiling with bales of straw on one side, and empty baskets were stacked on the other side. As before, she must spin all the straw into the room into gold by morning, or else. However, this time the king told her that he was busy, and the next morning he would be the one to check that all the straw were spun in gold, said the king, and his son would marry her. Well, the king thought to himself, even if she owns a miller's daughter with the talent of spinning straw into gold, that's a fitting a bride. That's fitting a bride that I could want. And what he barked to the girl was that if she could do not do the task, she would marry no one at all, for she would die. So when the king left, the girl fell into a gloom. Even if the little man were to appear again and spin all the straw into gold, she'd only had she'd only have to marry a prince who was no doubt as cruel and as horrible as his father. Either way, she was stuck. And when she lifted her head, there was the little man standing before her again. And so, what have you to give me this time? He said. I don't have any more jewelry, she said, and even if I did, I would only have to marry a horrible prince. So, what's the point? We will come to a good price, said the imp. We are he went to work, spinning the straw into gold. Stop, the girl. Stop, said the girl. I said I can't pay you. Please stop. But the imp did not stop. He spun, and though the girl waved at him from all angles, and All right. Sorry. Don't know how long I was out. Yeah. But the imp did not stop. And he spun, though the girl waved her arms from all angles and pleaded with him to stop. But it was of no use. And by morning the job was done. There, said the imp. Now we will talk price. That's not fair, said the girl. Lots of things in life are not fair, said the imp with a shrug. But don't worry. I know you don't have anything to give me now. But when you become queen, I will take you, or I will take as my payment your firstborn child. What? Said the girl. I would never become queen. But even if I did, I wouldn't never agree to give up my child. Ah, but you already have, said the imp. The straw is spun, and the deal is done. He turned and vanished. A moment later, there was a knock on the door. This was different. The king always barged in. A young man stepped in. Miss, this is the prince, or fate. Miss, are you all right? Said he. I just learned what has been going on here. I know my father can be tough. That's an understatement, she said under her breath. Was that a smile that passed between them? But the prince looked around. He saw the balls of shining gold thread overflowing the baskets. And so it is true, he marveled. This is why my father has bent on our getting married. Oh, I'm sorry, folks. Done it again. This is my father was so bent on our getting married. The girl hung her head. Getting married into this royal family was the last thing she wanted. They would find out soon enough that she can't turn straw into gold. And then what would happen to her? She had to get out. But how? You want to get out of here, don't you? Said the prince quietly. The miller's daughter was startled, but nodded, though not too heartily, as she couldn't risk the prince thinking that she didn't want to marry him. These things can be tricky, after all. But what to tell my father? Said the prince, who stared at the piece of room. I know, he said. I'll tell him you're already married. No, wait. What if you had some terrible disease? She stared at him. Was the prince really trying to help her? The trouble is, he stopped in his tracks. He'll never let you go if he thinks you can keep on spinning straw into gold. We need to come up with a reason why that would have to stop. Maybe this was some kind of a temporary magical ability that's closer to the truth than you think, she said. Together, they came up with all kinds of reasons why they couldn't possibly get married, some of which were pretty bizarre and made them laugh. And then the two of them started to talk about other things. In fact, they chatted the rest of the day. And by sunset, the girl felt that if this kind of clever young man would someday ask her to marry him, then who knows, she might actually say yes. At last, the two of them arrived at a plan. The prince would tell the king that he could keep the gold only if the maiden were set free immediately, and that the girl was under an enchantment, and that if she were kept here, the palace at the palace, even one more day, all the gold would turn back into straw. The king was spooked by magic, and he agreed to release her while the maiden could go home. And a month later, the terrible old king died. The prince, now king, found the village where the miller's daughter lived, and he invited her and her father to come to the palace. And when she and the king met again, they found that they had just as much to talk about as before. It wasn't long before the two of them realized that they were falling in love, and before long they were married. The Firstborn Child, Part 4. In time, the queen had a baby of her own, a son. Joy filled the palace. But one day, when the queen was alone in the garden, the imp appeared before her. Give me what is mine, as you promised, said the imp, pointing to the baby. We agreed. Give me the baby now. I never agreed, said the queen with panic. She held her baby tightly in her arms, and she gathered her thoughts, and she said, I will give you the gold instead. Don't make me laugh, said the little man. I can spend all the gold I want. I will give you a castle, said the queen. I come and go where I want, said the imp. What do I want with a castle? I will give you servants who will take care of you day and night, said the queen. No one takes care of me, said the imp. I come and I go as I please. No one even knows my name. Well, I will find out your name, said the queen. Oh, really, said the imp, for he knew that no one on earth knew his name. He had made it up himself and had never told a soul. Very well, he said. You think you can find out my name? I give you 3 days. And after 3 days, if you cannot tell me my name, the baby is mine forever. If you can guess my name, keep the baby for all times. And I and tell me and tell no one about this part or pact. But if you say but one word to anyone, including the king, the baby will disappear at once and you'll never see him again. Well, 3 days is a long time, thought the queen, and it's plenty of time to gather every name possible. The imp didn't say she couldn't get others, like her servants, to help, and so she agreed to her terms, or to his terms. Well, the next day, the queen wrote down every name that she could think of. She ordered her servants to come up with every name that they could think of too, and from their home countries and faraway lands. Well, the servants did not know why they needed to do this, but the king and queens make a lot of odd requests, and they did their best to comply. Well, that night, when the imp appeared, the queen shook out a scroll of names and fell to the floor. Could your name be Nathan? She said. Lucas, Jacob, Hugo, Jerome, Maximilian, Poindexter. She went on and on. Not even close, slashed the imp. And see you tomorrow night. He was gone. Well, the second day, the queen looked through every book that she had read, and her servants went through every book stored in the royal library. She collected names from faraway places, names that she had never heard of. And that night, when the imp appeared, the queen read her list. Perhaps your name is Abner, she said. No, how about Gunnar, Alfonso, Silas, and many other names more. But this is boring me, said the imp. But I will not be bored tomorrow night. You will be the third, it will be the third night, and the baby will be mine. He laughed again and was gone. So the queen, in a cold sweat, stayed up all night that night, coming up with every bizarre name that she could think of. She had her servants do the same. They were writing down names such as roast, ribs, or sheep shark, or gurgle throb, or spindle shank. We're just guessing, she said in despair, and she put on her royal cape and hood, and she walked out of the castle. If I have peace and quiet, maybe I will think up something that she thought. I must have a breakthrough somehow. Well, the queen went into the woods to the deepest thicket part, so deep it was dark, even though it was daytime. All of a sudden, the queen saw a lighted fire far away and heard a voice too. There was something about that voice, but what was it? She stepped closer, quietly, and so as not to make a sound. There in front of the fire, dancing, and was the little man. It was he. Yes, the very same imp. Very quietly, the queen listened. As the little man danced, he sang, today I brew, tomorrow I bake, then that child I shall take. The queen will never guess my name, for Rumpelstiltskin win this game, for Rumpelstiltskin is my name. Rumpelstiltskin, the queen thought to herself. She tiptoed backwards, very, very quietly, and made her way back to the palace. Well, that night, when Rumpelstiltskin appeared, the queen went through a few more names. Is your name Yusuf, Mbubak, or how about Solomon? No, 1,000 times no, said the imp. You are wasting my time. I give you one last guess, and then that's the end. Well, I'm sure that it's not right, but could your name possibly be Rumpelstiltskin? Rumpelstiltskin, yelled the imp. How did you know? The imp was so mad that he stomped his feet, and a very big hole opened in the ground, and that he fell right down into it. And Rumpelstiltskin was never seen again. And the queen and her husband, the king, lived happily ever after for the rest of their days. And so may you. The end. Okay, there we go. That was Story Time with TV Grandpa. Hello, somebody just checked in. Holland again. How are you doing today? Did you come back with a song request today? I think you had one yesterday, and I didn't know any Faith Hill songs. I mean, about the only one I know is like this kiss, this kiss. But it's only the whatchamacallit, the middle part. I don't know the rest of it. Song lyrics: This kiss, Faith Hill. See, I don't know. I don't want another heartbreak. I don't need another turn to cry. No, I don't want to learn the hard way. Baby, hello. Oh, no, goodbye. But you got me like a rocket shooting straight across the sky. See, I don't know it. I'll have to listen to it today, and maybe I'll sing it for you tomorrow. How's that sound? I can do that. We'll get it in. Go to sleep. My voice activation system came on. Oh, Lordy, we got 101 degrees out here. How about where you're at? Oh, she's gone. Gong, 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 gong. Gong, ba-doo, gong. Gong, 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 gong. Gong, ba-doo, gong. All right, anyway, that brings us to the Daily Bread portion of the program. Daily Bread portion of the program is brought to you today by the Bible with Briscoe 2024. The Bible with Briscoe 2024 is the daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Today's reading in the Bible with Briscoe 2024 will be Psalms 120 through 122 and 1 Corinthians 9. So don't forget to tune into the Bible with Briscoe 2024 for your daily reading of the Bible. Today's devotion in the Daily Bread portion of the program will be Look More Like Jesus. And therefore, we will be reading John 17, 6 through 17. And these are in Jesus' word. Jesus prays for his disciples. I have revealed you to those whom you give me out of the world. They were yours, and you gave them to me, and they have obeyed your word. Now you know that everything you have given me comes from you, and for I gave them the words that you gave me, and they accepted them, and they know with certainty that I came from you, and they believed that you sent me. I prayed for them, and I am not praying for the world, but for those you have given me, and for they are yours. All I have is yours, and all you have is mine, and glory comes to me through them. I will remain in the world no longer, but they are still in the world, and I am coming to you, Holy Father. Protect them by your power of your name and the name that you gave me, so that they may be one as we are one. While I was with them, I protected them and kept them safe by that name that you gave me. None has been lost except the one doomed to destruction, so that scripture would be fulfilled. I am coming to you now, but I say these things while I am still in the world, so that they may have a full measure of my joy within them. I will give them your words, and the world has haunted or has hated them, for they are not of the world anymore. Then I am of the world. My prayer is not that you take them out of the world, but that you protect them from the evil one. And they are not of the world, even as I am not of it. Sanctify them by the truth. Yet your word is truth. And that was John 17, 6 through 17. And look more like Jesus, or be more like Jesus, and believe more like Jesus, and pray more like Jesus. That was today's Daily Bread portion of the program, brought to you today by the Bible with Briscoe 2024, a daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Don't forget to tune in to the Bible with Briscoe 2024 for your daily reading of the Bible. Okay, hey, that's it. That's all. That's the Shen Show in a nutshell. We're going to sing it. Hello, goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I said goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. So, goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. Ba-do-do-do. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. This here has been Shenandoah Briscoe saying hello and how are you? Thanks for tuning in to the Shen Show. And as always, you know, God loves you and so do I. So come back and see us again tomorrow because, well, God willing, we'll be here and we hope that you are too. God bless you. Come on back and see us again tomorrow. Bye-bye.